Hello, dear senior. Have you ever watched someone pour a cup of tea with steady hands? Only to find, one day, the cup trembles, the words stutter, the smile falls just slightly to one side. Life has a way of sending us warnings, not in shouts, but in whispers, a crooked smile, a heavy arm, a word lost in the middle of a sentence, a stumble that feels too sudden, a moment when the world goes blurry, and not because you forgot your glasses. At first, we laugh it off, don't we? Oh, I'm just tired. My legs asleep. Must be the weather. My tongue's on vacation today. But sometimes, it's not just the weather. It's a storm inside your brain, and it's not waiting for an umbrella. Stroke doesn't always come crashing in like thunder. Sometimes, it tiptoes in quietly, and if we're not paying attention, it steals something precious before we know it. But here's the hopeful part. We can see it coming. We can stop it early. We can outsmart it if we learn to listen. In this video, we'll explore the 5 warning signs your body may be begging for help and the simple, powerful steps to keep your brain safe. Because it's not just about living longer, it's about living wiser. With both hands steady on that cup of tea and a smile that stays right where it should be. Let's begin. Number 1, the face that tells the truth. Sometimes the first sign isn't a scream. It's a smile. That isn't quite a smile. Imagine this. You're chatting over tea, and your loved one smiles at a joke only the smile seems lopsided. 1. Corner lifts, the other forgets to join in. You tilt your head and wonder, was that normal? It's tempting to brush it off. Maybe they're just tired, you think, or it's nothing. It'll go away. But dear friends, the face tells the truth long before the words do. A drooping mouth, a slack cheek, an eyebrow that no longer rises with surprised ease aren't just quirks. They're whispers from the brain saying, help me, I'm in trouble. This is what doctors call facial asymmetry, and in a stroke, it often appears on one side only. Why? Because the brain, that remarkable command center, sends instructions to each half of our face through different pathways. When a blood vessel in the brain is blocked or bursts, part of that pathway goes silent and the face forgets how to smile. Evenly, it's one of the earliest, clearest signs. And here's the thing. If you catch it early, if you act fast, you can give that smile a fighting chance to return. You might have heard of the acronym FASTF for face. Is it drooping? A. For arm, can they lift both? S. For speech, is it slurred? T. For time, don't wait, call for help. So next time someone smiles at you, look a little closer, not with suspicion, but with love. A true friend doesn't just laugh with you. A true friend notices when something's not quite right and acts. Because sometimes, noticing a smile that's just a bit off can save a life. Number 2, the arm that forgot how to rise. Let me ask you something. Have you ever reached out for the kettle, only to find your arm just didn't want to move? Not because you're tired, not because of sore muscles, but because something deep inside simply said, no. When a stroke strikes, it doesn't always make a dramatic entrance. Sometimes, it shows up in the silence of a limb. One moment your arm is fine. The next, it's weak, heavy, or even lifeless. Like it's forgotten what it's supposed to do. Like a door that was always open, suddenly locked from the inside. This, dear friends, is not something to wait out. We often say things like, oh, I must have slept on it funnier. I guess I'm just getting older. But your arm doesn't just forget how to rise. Your leg doesn't just give way for no reason. Not like that. Not that fast. Stroke can cause sudden weakness or numbness on one side of the body, especially the arm and leg. It's the brain again, calling for help. The control center is confused, blood is blocked, and the message isn't getting through. Here's a simple test. Ask the person to raise both arms. If one drifts downward, slowly or suddenly, even just a little, it could be a sign of a serious stroke. And don't wait for it to get worse. Don't say, Let's wait till morning because the brain doesn't wait time. In this case, is not a healer. Time is a thief. Every minute that passes, more brain cells are lost. But act fast, and you might just save movement, memory, independence, and dignity. And yes, we might laugh about it later. I thought my arm was just being lazy. But trust me, it's better to laugh in an ambulance than cry in regret. So please, if an arm or leg suddenly forgets its job, don't hesitate. Don't guess. Call for help. Let the doctors do the guessing, because we'd all like to keep reaching, holding, hugging with both arms for many more years to come. If this video brought a smile to your face or warmed your heart, don't forget to tap the like button. Number 3. When words fall apart, we take speech for granted, don't we? We ramble, we mumble, we grumble about the weather. We talk to the kettle while it boils and to the telly when it's wrong. Words, words, words. They spill out of us like a second heartbeat until one day they don't. Have you ever seen someone try to say something simple, like good morning, and what comes out is garbled or slurred or doesn't come out at all? That moment when the sentence is trapped behind the lips, when the eyes widen in confusion, when the person knows exactly what they want to say, but their mouth has lost the map, that is terrifying, and that is another classic sign of stroke. You might hear words that sound like nonsense, or speech that drags and stumbles, as if the tongue has forgotten how to dance, or perhaps there's total silence. The person tries, but nothing comes out. And no, it's not just nerves. It's not just a dry throat. It's not because they haven't had their coffee yet. It's because the brain's language center, a tiny patch that works miracles every day, is suddenly starved of blood, and with it, oxygen. It's not just the voice that goes quiet. It's the control tower itself. Here's a test. Ask the person to repeat a simple sentence, like the sky is blue. If they slur the words, can't repeat it, or look confused, call for help immediately. Don't wait to see if they snap out of it. Because in stroke, every second is sacred. The brain is a masterpiece, but it has no backup drive. The sooner treatment begins, the greater the chance to get those words back, to say I love you, to tell a story, to sing a silly song without missing a beat. So, if the words go missing, even just once, don't hesitate. Don't let politeness delay you. Stroke doesn't wait for an invitation. And remember, it's better to call the ambulance and find it was nothing than to stay silent and lose the pal. Voice forever. Number 4. When the world goes blurry. Have you ever had that moment when your vision suddenly goes funny? You blink once, twice, rub your eyes, blame the curtains, the glasses, the lighting, or maybe just old age. But what if the world goes blurry not in both eyes, but just one? Or what if half of your sight disappears altogether? Not black, just gone? A sudden loss of vision, partial, complete, blurry, or double, can be a stroke waving a red flag from inside your brain. And no, it's not just a smudge on your glasses. It happens because a stroke can affect the part of the brain responsible for processing what we see, even if your eyes are perfectly healthy. If the brain can't make sense of the signals, it's like staring at a world that no longer fits together. You might see only one side of your plate, or walk into furniture on the left without realizing it's there, or think someone disappeared when really, they just stepped into the half of your world that's no longer visible. It can feel surreal, dreamlike, and easy to dismiss. Oh, maybe I just stood up too fast. It's probably the sugar drop. Must be those bargain bifocals, but please trust your gut. Sudden vision changes that happen without warning, especially when paired with dizziness, confusion, or trouble walking, should never be ignored. Here's a simple rule. If your eyes are open, but the world isn't making sense, call for help. Don't wait for it to clear up like fog on a window, because unlike the weather, stroke doesn't live with time. It gets worse. And if it's caught early, doctors can restore what's fading. Yes, even vision. even clarity, because a stroke doesn't just steal sight, it steals confidence, independence, and joy. Let's not let that happen. Your eyes may be the windows to the soul, but it's the brain that keeps the lights on. So if your world suddenly darkens, call for help and let the light in again. Number 5. When the ground isn't where you left it. Have you ever stood up and the room spun like a carousel at full speed? You reach for the table, miss. You try to walk, your legs forget the rhythm. You feel like the floor tilted while no one was looking. Now, sure, we all get a little dizzy from time to time. Maybe you skip breakfast or watch your grandkids' roller coaster video one too many times. But stroke dizziness? It's different. It doesn't feel like a moment. It feels like a separation from gravity itself. When a stroke affects the part of the brain that controls coordination and balance, often the cerebellum or brainstem, it can make even the simplest movement feel like navigating through fog on a rocking boat. You may feel sudden dizziness that pins you to the wall, loss of balance, like your feet forgot how to find the floor, nausea and vomiting. Out of nowhere, trouble walking, even though your legs still feel strong. And here's the dangerous bit. People often mistake this for something minor. Oh, it's just vertigo. Maybe. It's food poisoning or the classic, I just need to sit down. But no, this isn't just needing to sit. It's your brain asking you to act before sitting becomes falling. Here's a tip. Try standing still. Close your eyes and gently lift 1 foot. If the world shifts or your body wobbles like jelly on a plate and it's sudden, unusual, and intense, don't gamble on it. Call emergency services, because stroke-related balance loss isn't a polite warning. It's a shove, and you may not get a second one before the damage is done. Now, some might say, I'm just clumsy. I trip all the time. Well, dear friend, we all have clumsy days. But when the ground doesn't feel like it belongs to you anymore, when you don't trust your own 2 feet, that's not just clumsy, that's urgent. And with the right action, the right help, the right timing, you can steady the ship before it sinks, because you deserve to walk freely, to dance a little, even to reach for your favorite book without the fear of falling flat. So, if your body stumbles and your balance betrays you, listen. The brain may be whispering, I need help. And we, together, will answer that whisper before it becomes a scream. So, we've journeyed through the quiet warnings the body gives us. A crooked smile, a drifting arm, a stuttered word, a fading view, a sudden fall. They may seem small, easy to excuse, easy to miss, but they are not small. They are the body's last polite request before things become urgent. Stroke does not always come with fanfare. It doesn't always knock loudly. Sometimes it slips in through the cracks, hoping you won't notice, but now you do. You know the signs. You know the tests. And more importantly, you know that acting fast can mean the difference between recovery and regret. So please, don't. Just keep this knowledge in your back pocket. Share it. Share it with someone you love. Someone who laughs a little slower now. Someone who rubs their shoulder and says, it's nothing, because sometimes it is something. And if you found this video helpful, or even just gently comforting, please consider doing that kind little trio. Like this video, it tells the algorithm that kindness matters. Comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts, stories, or questions. Subscribe so you don't miss more calm, caring content like this. And share, because this message might just land in the right heart at the right time. Thank you for giving your time. Thank you for listening, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Stay safe, stay kind, and may your smile always lift evenly on both sides. Until next time.